People who smear poop all over public bathrooms. Why do you do it? Obligatory, not me, but my students. We had a rash of poop smearing a few years ago. This is a red flag for kids, because it can be a sign of abuse or severe emotional trauma. We finally caught one of my kids in the act. We sat him down to have a non-judgmental discussion about why he felt the need to express himself artistically with fecal matter. We did the whole "you're not in trouble, just talk to us about why you're doing it." He told us, "Well, Federico did it last week and this week was my turn." It was a dare. It was middle school boys doing gross dares. I used to teach in a classroom with the bathrooms in the room. Kid comes booking out one day straight to my desk. There's stuff on the walls. Like, bad stuff. I can't say it. You have to look. So I look, and yep, definitely poop. I know who was in there before him, so I call home. Mom won't believe it. My son would never, must have been someone else. Why do you think it was him? And then, the best moment of a phone call with an annoying parent I've ever had. "Ma'am, he signed his name with it." Decent cursive, too. Edit, guys, I swear, I got the right kid. The student who reported it wasn't in there more than a second before he blasted back out, and the hit smearer admitted it later. I used to work at McDonald's. One day my boss tells me to clean the lot, clean the lobby, clean the bathrooms, and I can go home. So I started inside out, start with the bathroom and nope, there's a gigantic hit on the floor. So I did what any kid would do. I cleaned the absolute hit out the lobby and spent some decent time cleaning the lot too. Real bang up job, that hit looks great. I check the clock, my shift is done. I check with my manager and say, "Hey, I cleaned the hell out of the lot and lobby, check it out. I just haven't checked the bathrooms yet. My shift is done though, mind if I go home?" She takes a look around and goes, "Oh wow, things look great. Okay, I'll just get someone else to do the washrooms. Have a great day." And that's my story of how I never had to clean the gigantic hit on the floor of McDonald's. So I have this cousin, early 40s, who is an awful human being. She likes to take any and every form of drug she can find, including prescription muscle relaxers my handicapped aunt needs to be able to function. These are usually her last resort after the meth supply runs out. She had been on a meth binge for 4 days and decided she needed the muscle relaxers, which she has overdosed on twice before. She also insists on snorting and or shooting them, depending on her mood and time available. When she does this, it causes her brain to swell. This particular instance, she had just started a new job at a local factory. She had disappeared from her job for over an hour and was found in the bathroom holding a cup of her own feces, smearing it all over the walls and herself in an artistic fashion. So, to answer the question, pure untreated mental instability. Edit, because everyone feels the need to attack me about my lack of empathy for mentioning 1. Drug addiction and 2. She's a horrible human being. Just to clarify, not a horrible person, because she has an addiction. She hit all over the walls because she has an addiction. She's a horrible human being because she's a horrible human being that enjoys being a horrible human being. She derives pleasure from physically and emotionally hurting people who refuse to enable her. I had a friend, weird kid, who did this once. I was out to eat at a restaurant with him and a few other people, and I had to take a hit. Apparently so did he. We went into the bathroom together, me in one stall, him in the other. In between the 2 stalls there was a tiny grate in case water overflowed. I noticed his legs weren't facing the correct way, they were facing away from me. He hits right on top of the grate, then takes toilet paper and smushed it through there. I was honestly shocked. I yelled, "What the duck are you doing? Someone has to clean that up." Proceeded to wipe, wash my hands, and storm out of the bathroom. I went to our table and left a 20, even though I got 1 drink. Told the table, "James just ducking hit on the floor and mashed it into the grate." Told the server as well and left. No idea what happened, and I never talked to the kid again. One time in my high school back in the day, there was piece of hit alcoholic janitor that hated kids, never did his job, and was basically an all-around butt. He never cleaned our bathrooms, and they constantly stank of old piss and hit. There was never toilet paper / paper towel / soap, and the mirrors were always so dirty you could barely see yourself. Mind you, I went to one of the top public schools in the country, so this was pretty ducked up. We complained about him, but the school said he did his job enough and didn't do anything about it. So, one day before the weekend, I hit on the floor of the bathroom and smeared it around. Further, I hit on one of the toilet seats and also smeared it. I knew he had already left early because I saw him drinking behind the school. Come Monday morning, my hit was still there. I complained again, and he got fired. No regrets. Used to work at a Wendy's, and we had a frequent douche that used to do this. The worst one was the time he hit into a wad of toilet paper and threw it on the ceiling. When you walk into the bathroom, there was this wad of hit on the ceiling with toilet paper ribbon dancing down from it. Worst Halloween decorations ever. I had to clean that mess up. I had to use a shop vac attachment and vac poop off a ceiling. Also, snot wall and Mr. Pisses on everything. Feel free to weigh in and explain yourselves. Work at a high school. Kid smeared crap on wall about once a week and no one knew who it was. People started calling him the poop phantom. His final time before being caught, he smeared the poop phantom across the wall. Smart kid. Okay, people post hit about their kids doing this. I want to know why adults are ducking doing this. Had a weird experience when I was a kid. I was maybe 5 when my dad had a business associate over for dinner. Him and his wife and their twin daughters, all blonde hair and blue eyes, happy little American family. Both girls, 15 or 16 maybe, immediately excuse themselves to our downstairs bathroom together and lock themselves in. From the kitchen we could hear them giggling and splashing. They stayed there through dinner, cocktails, and dessert. My parents didn't know what to say, and their parents acted like nothing was out of the ordinary. When they left, the girls came out covered in hit, soaked in water and pee, and our bathroom was covered. Cody _DVED. They left like nothing had happened. My mom cried for an hour while she called a biohazard cleaning crew. Edit, my sister and I were quickly shuffled away, and it was cleaned up the next day while we were at school. We never saw that family again, and that was just that _a/. Edit #2, I texted my whole family and they remember it similarly. Turns out it was actually my dad's old fraternity brother and not a business partner, and he had just gotten remarried and the girls were her daughters. My dad said his biggest fear the whole time was that the girls were naked and there together. He had no idea what he was actually in for. He said the friend and that woman got divorced about a year after this happened, and they never spoke about it again. University of Kentucky, Alpha Gamma Rho, if it matters. Why is everyone looking at me? My daughter did this quite regularly until recently, usually at home though, not in public toilets. She's autistic and a sensory seeker, and likes the feel. D-pounds. I now have a permanent sensory corner at home with gooey /floppy /slimy stuff for her to play with, not poop, and she now only does it very occasionally. I'd also like to point out I carry antibacterial wipes with me and clean up when she does this. Edit, wow, thank you for the gold. One of my co-workers not only smears poop on the bathroom walls, but also poops in her office. This has been going on for years. Last week the janitor reached her breaking point. Poop was smeared on the outside of the bathroom door and covered stalls, toilet seat and sink. The issue went over to ours last week and still haven't heard what will be done about it. None of my co-workers know why she does this and why this has been allowed to go on for so long. Update, ours has spoken to her. She has been given cleaning supplies and has to clean up after herself. In my opinion, complete bullshit. Deleted right square bracket 0.3095. What is this? Parents never let me express myself artistically as a child. We had a guy named Craig write his name in hit on the wall at work. He was fired for it as being the only Craig there. It was pretty obvious we did it. Please subscribe to Reddit Throne. Please subscribe to Reddit Throne.